Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll call the meeting of the DuPage County Development Committee of October 7th to order. And we have a roll call, please.
Member Krajewski?
Here.
Member Martinez?
Here.
Member Colbert?
Here.
Member Ozog?
Here.
Vice Chair Yu?
Here.
Chair Tornatori?
Here. We have a quorum. I have no remarks. Do we have any public comment? We have no one here to public comment. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 16th.
So moved.
Second.
Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We got to regulatory services. I'll entertain a motion to approve DCP 2-25, a recommendation for approval of a contract order to Safe Built Illinois for professional services to perform building and plumbing plan reviews and inspections on an as needed basis for the period of December 1, 2025 through November 30th, 2026.
Second.
Any questions or comments on this one? These are the same people we've been using, right, Jim?
Yes.
All is in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 44-25 zoning 2550 to approve a zoning relief for a variation to reduce the required rear yard setback for a new chicken coop from 25 feet to approximately 8 feet, and a variation to reduce the side yard setback for a new chicken coop from 25 feet to 15 feet. There's a motion, there's a second. This was denied by the zoning hearing officers. Our questions are taken in the affirmative, so if you want to concur with the zoning hearing officer, your vote would be no. Any questions or comments on this? Yes, Melissa.
So they mentioned something about having to tear down a building if they were to be able to put the chicken coop, but I don't see any building that would be needed to be torn down.
But the shed.
But that's not even within 50 feet anyway. So.
My understanding that the zoning hearing officer denied this, there was no hardship presented by the petitioner and no practical difficulty. Just wanted to take advantage of some existing buildings and structures that have been built.
Okay.
Yes, Member Krajewski.
Same quick question there. Is he just didn't I mean, that shed is a side yard setback, right? So that shed was in the hall there. Around.
Hi, I'm Ashley with planning and zoning. So with this, there is a shed and a chicken coop, and the chicken coop doesn't meet the setback requirements, which is why they're requesting the two variances. However, to my understanding, they're already existing. So if they,
So the chicken coops are there already.
Yeah,
And then just, he'd have to move it all.
they would have to move it, basically demolishing it because it's already existing.
Can you have goats there?
I'm not sure about that. I could,
I mean, we had one the other day where we approved the goats for the variance, but not the chickens.
I'm not sure about the ghosts. I can look into
I
that.
was just curious. I mean, we approved goats at one time and not chickens. Okay.
It was a special vote. Vice Chair, you.
Wait, sorry, but it actually says here it's supposed to be for a new chicken coop, right?
Yep.
So it's not,
Not the existing.
so they just want to build a new one on top of what they already had. Is that what's happening?
To my understanding, there was a shed there and they built onto the shed, creating the chicken coop. I believe the property is in violation, which is why they requested the zoning relief.
Okay.
But to my knowledge, the shed and the chicken coop is already there.
So they're not wanting to build another chicken coop?
No, it's,
Or-
the one that's shown on the plat is the one they're requesting the variation for.
But it's already been built
Sorry,
Yeah,
without a permit.
Out of code.
without a permit.
Right.
because I know it's in my district and we have a lot of these. I mean, I think, Paul, we go down by the canal, pretty much everything's out of compliance down there, but we usually don't enforce it unless somebody calls. How did we come across this?
I believe it was a complaint.
Some neighbor called on that? Okay. But there was no
To my
objection.
understanding right now, I believe it was a complaint.
Because it said there was no objections in here, but that's how we got out there.
I believe so.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, do a roll call, let's do a roll call. Again, if you want to concur with the zoning hearing officers, your vote would be no.
Member Krajewski,
Aye.
Vice Chair you. No. Member Martinez,
No.
Member Colbert,
No.
Member Ozark,
No.
Chair Tornatori.
No, and the motion fails. Moving on to item 6C, DC, entertain motion to approve DCO 45-21. So there's no use to allow a Class B restaurant in the local B1 district. There's a motion. There a second?
Second.
My understanding, this is a breakfast place. They're looking to basically get a pour license to do some breakfast drinks, mimosas and what have you that they can't do that. Any questions, comments on that? If none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, the motion carries. Now entertain a motion to approve DCO 46-25, zoning 2557, River Forest Country Club to approve a variation, increase the height of a new flagpole from 24 feet to 60 feet.
Second.
Motion is second. Again, I understand this is so that the flag can be seen throughout the golf course. That's why they wanted to raise the raise it. And a member of River Forest is here. Yep.
Yes, no, I'm just saying, what I was told by Paul is that the country club is zoned residential. And it was like an old zoning, so it's zoned residential. And the height of a residential zoning flagpole is 24 feet. So this flagpole is actually going next to a patio, you know, in a golf course. It's nowhere near any homes or any houses or anything like that. And they just want the 60-foot because,
Right, so they can be seen throughout the golf.
yes,
Entire golf course.
yes.
That's a good thing here. Any other questions, comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 47-25 zoning 2553 West Suburban Athletic Department to approve an amendment to a conditional use to add parking for additional land.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions, comments? I've been told by Paul on this that this is to allow additional parking for weekend events. Apparently, this soccer field and West Suburban Development is very successful, and it will now eliminate some of the parking on the right of ways. It will conform to all the original approvals, the Dark Sky Initiative, and also be working with the Downers Grove Township Highway Department for traffic patterns on the property. So nothing's going to change. It's just going to benefit the people who are coming back. Robert Krajewski.
Yeah, just a question on that, and I know this is because of some of the tournaments that come, they've had a lot of people coming, and so instead of parking on the street, they got this district parking. Is this to access this is basically one lane? So you need officer or somebody like security to monitor, because if somebody's trying to get into the parking lot, somebody's trying to leave, they'll be basically.
Right, it's gonna be one lane, but they're going to have someone there to
So they're gonna
deal
be
with the
required to
traffic.
have, and
Deal
then,
with the traffic.
I know there was some initial questions with the fire department.
They clear that up.
I see the letter in there, and I was just curious if the fire department, they're requiring us to have vehicle heavy weight signs there. Why would that be a issue? That the heaviest truck could be 57,000 pounds to be able to traverse over the bridge. I guess, are they gonna put a sign on there, but why is the fire department dictating?
My understanding is the fire department signed off on it, so they're good with it.
Now, I was reading their
I
letter.
don't know. I don't know why the fire department would.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say something?
Sure, yeah, I
Fire
would.
department's a fire.
The fire department wanted wanted to make sure it was 50,000, that it could handle 57,000 pounds because that's the weight of their truck.
Okay, yeah, and I see they want a sign up there that says that's okay, but I mean, that's fine. I know the fire department has issues, so, okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Vice Chair, you.
Yes, I also noticed that there was a letter from the DuPage Forest Preserve District. And I noticed that they did address, I guess, some of the concerns from the Tri-State Fire Department, but I don't know that they addressed the concerns specifically from the Forest Preserve. Do you know if So,
If I may, those are all in the first conditional use approval, so those are already standards that were in the first one. So we didn't, so nothing in that letter was different than what was put in the first conditional use approval, as special conditions.
okay, so, I mean, specifically, there's a paragraph that talks about, you know, the principal ingredient of de-icers, right? And this is a parking lot, they're gonna be de-icing, you need to keep the parking lots clear of ice. And so they're asking for non-chloride de-icers, which are less impactful and more available, and is better than chloride-based products for the animals in the wetlands and streams that are very close to this building. Is that something that's already been addressed?
That is in one of the, that was in the original condition, so none of the
Current parking.
the chairman talked
It's
about.
already in there. Okay,
Any other questions?
I just trust in your word.
I definitely am not lying on this one. It's not working for me.
You better know.
Exactly.
Okay, we have
I
a
gotta come
motion
back.
and a second. Nothing further. All is in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve DCO 48-25 T-5-25. Text amendment to the DuPage County zoning ordinance to approve text amendments relative to short-term rentals, residential dwelling units, to conform to our current initiative for housing solutions and to amend, lot requirements. As a motion, is there a second? Okay, got some information from Paul on this one as well. We currently do not have any short-term rental, ordinances. So what this will do is give the county an opportunity to regulate short-term rentals. Right now, a short-term rental is under our hotel motel provision of the code. It will be a resource for us. It will not change our current zoning code, meaning no more than 5 unrelated people, 6 vehicles on the property. We will have an opportunity to regulate and license these. It's my understanding that there may be as many as 125 short-term rentals in unincorporated DuPage County. And we're only aware of them when the owners of these properties call us to complain about the people who are there, maybe not conforming to what the owner of the property wanted. It also will directly benefit, we believe, the Housing Solutions Committee, because there's potential for somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000 in revenue streams every year for the licensing and regulation, which will go into our housing solutions. Regarding special events or someone who wanted a house like for a Ryder Cup or President's Cup or something and wanted to have more than 6 people there, they simply would apply for a special event permit like we do for fireworks and other things. And under those circumstances, no issues with it. So it's something that I know Paul's been working on and staff in order to get a handle on some of the short-term rentals, have some control, generate some revenue, and move us closer to where we want to go with affordable housing as well. So, Mary.
I see 5 people, 6 vehicles. What is the time frame? Is there a limit on the time frame?
Under 30 days or less.
It's 30 days or less is allowed.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the definition of a short-term rental. Yes, Vice Chair.
Thank you. I have 2 questions. So first, because you said there's about approximately 125 short-term rentals, will we have the staff to actually regulate, to go out and inspect? Is that going to be an issue going forward?
I think if we're going to generate $300,000 in revenue, we'll be able to probably increase our staff accordingly.
And then second, I did notice in the text amendment in the packet, specifically, there was a highlight because it says to be determined by the county board, and it was to be each license for a short-term rental of a dwelling unit issued to DuPage County shall expire on something to be determined of each year, and then with an annual fee of also to be determined at a later date. So is that something that we need to discuss today, or is that something that's coming later?
No, I think that's going to become a policy decision for us to figure out. We obviously don't want to, as a board, Okay, so if there's something here, I'm saying on a school, we don't want to charge people, $4,000 for a 30. So that would be counterproductive, but something that staff is going to come to us with regulations, fees, how long though that regulation would be in effect, whether it's going to be done every year or otherwise, and then that'll be a vote for the county.
Do we anticipate when we'll be having that discussion? I mean, I was like, is it gonna be a $50 fee? Is it going to be
I
like
think it's
100?
going to be more than $50. My understanding would be,
Okay,
I'm going to throw a number out only because I've heard it before, $1,000.
Yeah.
Going to be significant. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm guessing this is a work in progress. Will this conversation continue in the Housing Solutions Committee, or will we be discussing it in this committee with the developments on the fees and how we're moving
Well, the
forward?
text amendment is approved by this committee today. It'll go to county board.
Okay.
I
But
mean, that's the way things work. So,
what with the discussion of the fees, the continuation? like
I
we
think the
discussed?
the fees are going to be something that may be amended and changed from time to time. Joe, you do.
So yeah, this is just for the text amendment for the zoning ordinance. We'll come forward with a regular ordinance that will be the direction, like the liquor control ordinance or the gaming ordinance. That's when we'll discuss, I think, the fees and the expiration date. We'll probably treat it similar to the way we treat liquor license, which is June 30th, they expire. So, set a date, everybody has to renew for the next year. And we'll also set up some sort of inspection program where we'll go through the houses and take a look at it and make sure they've got all the life safety features that you would expect. Smoke detectors, handrails, the probably 10 or 15 basic things that everybody needs to have. So when you rent a house, you're safe.
Oh, we can't get to that discussion until we get this far.
Right.
Yes.
Did we say there's like 125 of these?
That's our understanding somewhere.
I don't know how you're gonna get to $300,000 fees. That's, if there's only 125, that's like $3,000 a place.
30-day rental.
I think there's possibly more than that. There's various groups that you can go through to rent these. And I think some of them we've looked at, there could be up to a couple hundred in
Unincorporated areas.
Airbnb, yeah.
I will tell you, we discussed this before. That's what we know about. That's easy to find. We think that there's a significant number out there that we don't know.
Any other questions?
So how are we gonna find those properties?
It'll happen over time. It'll happen over time. Once we have this in place that allows us then to go out there, we have an enforcement tool. And, a lot of times we get complaints from neighbors on these, and that's how we find out.
Yes.
What does the lot size have to do with anything?
The lot size, it doesn't have anything to do with the short-term rentals, but it's part of the text amendment.
Okay. And then, so this talks all about single family, and what about like condos? Is that not included?
What do you mean, short-term rentals?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the dwelling unit, so that's the way you would describe it.
Okay, so it doesn't, it's included, condos are included.
Anyone else? Remember you?
oh, I think somebody was there an objection by the Village of Burr Ridge or something? It was specifically about the 20,000 square feet. So it was going from the 40,000 to the 20,000 and the issue was that it served with septic as well, but we don't have any concerns about that.
Again, my understanding is that because the septic and well have evolved over the years, the necessity for the larger lots to comply with that isn't as
Okay.
significant as it was before. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Thank God Paul gave me all this information before. Any other questions?
That will be on the test, septic and well.
Okay, no other questions. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. Any old business? New business? Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you all.